How's it going, everyone? I picked up this Vortex Defender CCW red dot. It's a 3MOA dot. It does have like the little slight nubs right there that are supposed to act as rear sights if you have to use them for some reason. I picked this up for my Apollo 11 for a couple of reasons. One is the size. It's just a little bit larger than the Holosun as far as the window. The height as well, very minimal, but it is just a little bit higher. Same thing with the width. It looks a little wider. I don't believe that it is, mainly because the little battery compartment on this sticks out a little bit more. But all in all, they're pretty equal in size, length, weight, everything. On the Apollo 11 though, it's a larger gun. It's a double stacked 1911 style gun. And I thought this larger window might look a little nicer on it. I like the little front grip that it has, your little like serrations, or not real sort of like knurling that they put on here. It's supposed to reduce glare, and it really does. You can see the difference when you put these both up. You see right there, it's already shiny on the Holosun, and not so much on the Vortex. So it really does work. The window's a little clearer on the Vortex than the Holosun, and it's just a little bit smaller, and I thought this is going to look really small on a full-size gun. However, I am liking this look on my EDC. I did go ahead and black this out. For those of you who might already have this, you'll notice this looks kind of like a gray. It's not that bright white, kind of like that little arrow. This was all large white. I didn't like the way that looked. It's just a huge advertisement that I'm just not a fan of. Same thing on the side. As you can see, the lettering on that is pretty much grayed out. It says Defender CCW, but unless you really look at it, you're not going to be able to kind of tell what it is. And that's kind of the way I want it. I want it muted down. So I'm thinking about putting this on my EDC. For now, I'm not carrying this gun just because I'm not sure what I'm going to do when it comes to the optic. So in the meantime, I'm carrying my Shield Plus Performance Center. It's got the Apex trigger kit in here and just some night sights. So this has no optic, not even the option for an optic. This is what I carry when I want like extreme comfort. And this on your 6 design holster really allows for that. So I'm going to be using this until I get my Apollo back, at which point I'm going to go ahead and mount this, see how it looks. I'm thinking I'm going to like it. Again, it's a larger window, it's a larger gun. I think it's going to just look great. But in the event that this one looks just as good, I'll probably leave this one on and then test out the Vortex for my EDC. Because on the Vortex, there's 2 things that I really like for my EDC. One is it has the same style, just single button on either side for the adjustments, which I prefer. I do use these just fine, but my hand, I have medium to large hand. You would think you'd be able to kind of just feel for them like that, but it doesn't really work out that way. I'm always having to just kind of pull it over and then just kind of put my finger on it and then turn, look at the glass, and then adjust, and then turn, put my finger on it, turn it around. I can't just look at the glass and press on the buttons. Some of you can, probably. I can't, at least not without getting frustrated. I'm like just kind of randomly pressing till I feel a click. I don't want to be doing that. So I like that this just has one button. The only thing I'd have to remember, okay, left side's to increase, right side's to decrease, and that's it. And you could easily press them without having to look for your finger placement on the button. And I'm already used to carrying things with RMRs. So these, as you can tell, have just one large button either side. Same basic concept. You just grab it. All you have to remember, okay, left side's increase, right side's decrease, and then just, you don't have to even be looking. If you're aiming the gun and you realize it's a little too bright out and I need to increase the brightness on the dot, and you could just press that without having to just deal with moving your hands away from the target, or pretty much just break your concentration is all it really does. I end up just forgetting about the target, adjust the dot, and then go back to it. And it's a little annoying when you're doing a lot of shooting. I'd rather just be on target. Oh, need to increase it, push the button, continue shooting, and that's the end of it. A little picky, but when you have options, it's okay to be picky. You can afford, I guess, to be picky. So let me know what you all think. I don't know if anyone has experience with this or not. If you do, let me know any cons that you found on this. Durability, I never had experience with this one, so I can only assume it's pretty close to the HoloSun. Price ranges are about the same. They're about $250. Obviously, if you get one with a green dot or some other options, you can make them go a little higher. But for the most part, they're about $250, $220 on the lower end. I picked up this one at a really good deal, new in the box, from someone who ended up just going with the larger dot. They ended up purchasing this one by mistake, apparently. They thought it was an RMR footprint, and instead of returning it, they just kind of sat on it for a while until they decided to get rid of it, and I got it for a really, really good price. So for now, like I said, if this looks good on the Apollo, that's going to be its new home. I could see it going either way. The Apollo, again, it's a larger gun. This one probably suits it better. Who knows? But until I figure it out, I'm not going to really worry about it too much. But I'm also not going to carry this one just yet. I'm just going to continue carrying my shield. It'll avoid me just having to be switching back and forth between the optics and zeroing them in. It should hold a 0, but I still go out to the range to double check. So I'm not going to just base it on the sights, because you can put it up to the sights co-witness and be like, okay, it's all good. I usually don't do that. I will to sight them in, put the dot where it was, but then I'll still go out to the range and test it out, because it looking like it's on 0 isn't necessarily the same thing. You might go and shoot it and realize it walked to the side or it did something. At 8 to 15 yards, it shouldn't make a huge difference, but again, when you have the option to be picky, when you have time to go and mess with it at the range, why not? It's fun, and that's ultimately why you got these extras. You get the extra nice trigger because you want that extra precision, that light trigger for just accuracy. So you get all these things, might as well utilize them and not just be lazy and assume it'll all go to plan. That's just not a good way to do things, especially when it's something like a firearm. Same thing with reloads, things of that nature. You're not going to just assume it all goes to plan, go test out a few in your specific gun. Just because the rounds work, or just because the red dot works, doesn't mean it's going to work the exact same way in each and every gun and each and every application. So I will be posting more videos once I get the Prodigy back. Again, same thing, install the kit in it. The safety has to be fitted. I don't feel comfortable doing that. I've never done that, and those safeties are $200 each. So the last thing I want to do is take off too much material. I'm out $200. So that's the RMR that's going to go on the Prodigy. Right now, as it sits in the shop, it has the Dragonfly, the Hex Dragonfly that it came with. It looks cool, but I'm gonna see how this looks on it. I think this looks a little bit nicer. I just got this back from Trigicon. The button was melted, where it left the thumbprint on there, but they were nice enough to go ahead and just replace that. So far, it's functioning just fine. I do have the battery in there, and that will be going again on the Prodigy. So all these dots, and gonna have fun zeroing them in, checking them out, see which one works the best for which gun. Whichever gun it works best on, that's what I'm gonna leave it on. Even if I'm not a fan of the looks, if that's just the one that works best with it, that's the one that's gonna stay on it. Same thing with my carry guns. I might like one more than the other, but I'm gonna carry the one that I shoot the best. So that's the way that I do it. Not sure if you do the same thing or not. Until then, I'll upload the videos. Take care.